Before the Roman Colosseum was built, before the Great Wall of China was finished, one empire dared to imagine a world without borders. This was the Achaemenid Empire. The King of Kings ruled over 50 million people, nearly half the world's population at the time. They didn't just conquer, they created. They didn't just rule, they inspired. The heart of their power was the Immortals, an elite force of 10,000. If one fell, another took his place instantly. A ghost army that never stayed dead. They mastered the horse and the bow, building the Royal Road, a 1,600-mile highway that allowed their messengers to travel in 7 days, what took others 90. Communication was their greatest weapon. Yet the greatest legacy of Persia was not forged in the heat of battle. It was inscribed on a small clay cylinder. This is the Cyrus cylinder, widely considered the world's first charter of human rights. In an age defined by brutal conquest and tyranny, its founder, Cyrus the Great, established a radical new precedent. He freed enslaved peoples, including the Jews exiled in Babylon, and decreed that all people had the right to choose their own religion. It was a declaration of tolerance that would echo through millennia. This philosophy of inclusion was carved into the very stones of their cities. The Persians didn't seek to erase the cultures they encountered. They absorbed them, creating a vibrant, cosmopolitan society. At Persepolis, the ceremonial capital, this vision was made manifest. Its breathtaking architecture was a deliberate fusion of styles: the columns of Greece, the reliefs of Assyria, the grand halls of Babylon, all unified into something uniquely, magnificently Persian. It was a city built not just for an emperor, but for an empire of nations. The spirit of this empire was guided by a revolutionary faith, Zoroastrianism. One of the world's oldest monotheistic religions, it presented a universe defined by a cosmic struggle between Asha, or truth and light, and Druj, the lie and darkness. There were no idols, no complex pantheon, only a sacred, eternal flame representing the divine light of Ahura Mazda. Its central tenet was a simple, profound philosophy for living: good thoughts, good words, good deeds. This powerful concept of moral dualism and individual responsibility would profoundly shape the ethical foundations of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, influencing the very soul of the modern world. Of course, no earthly empire lasts forever. The Achaemenids fell to the brilliant ambition of Alexander the Great. Centuries later, the Mongols swept across the plains, and the Arab conquests brought a new faith and a new language. Each wave of invaders sought to remake this ancient land in their own image, but Persia, the civilization, performed a quiet miracle. It endured not by resisting, but by absorbing. It Persianized its conquerors. The spirit of the culture proved stronger than the sword. Through the sheer force of its art, its poetry, and its identity, the Persian soul survived, weaving its conquerors into its own story. Today, that same unbroken thread of history, that resilient bloodline, flows through the veins of modern Iran. It is visible in the impossible intricacy of a hand-woven Persian rug, a universe of stories told in silk and wool. It is audible in the timeless verses of Hafez and Rumi, recited in bustling tea houses. It stands tall in the architecture that bridges the ancient and the modern, from the silent ruins of Pasargadae to the soaring Azadi Tower in Tehran. From the ancient dust of Persia to the dynamic heart of Iran, the story continues. For the true empire was never just one of land and armies, but an empire of the mind, an empire of poetry, of science, of resilience, and of an unquenchable spirit. This is not just history. This is the immortal legacy of Persia.